Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. This is HD Starcraft, and I'm coming at you guys with Game 3. This is going to be Liquid TLO. He's actually changed colors to red now, which is going to make casting just a little bit easier, obviously. Happy is the blue Terran in the bottom left-hand corner of the map is Neo Planet S, and it is time for Game 3 here from the Z Cup. I believe it's from the Zotac Cup. I could be wrong. And as always, if you guys have any replays you want me to cast, feel free to send them in to hdreplays@gmail.com. I will do my best to get those done for you guys. And like I said before, I am out in the East Coast right now, but I will be coming back. I don't know the actual date. The first weekend of November, first Monday of November, I will be returning back home. So I'll have more videos coming out for you guys then. But for now, let's go ahead and continue on here with Game 3. Pretty great set so far, and TLO with that in that last game, that was so sick. You know, Happy's strategy was actually kind of cool, and he knew he wasn't going to win the game in the late game. It was just far gone for that, but he invested everything into one massive attack. I mean, I've never seen a Terran army that big before. Usually, you know, the Terran army is about 33% smaller or so, because you know there's going to be 50 or 60 workers that suck up some of that supply. But Happy just said, you know what, I'm gonna go for a big attack and hope I can end the game. It just didn't really work. So TLO obviously with the proper response by sacrificing his drones into spine crawlers, and I think that was a great idea, knowing what he was up against. So now we are here in Game 2, and snowy climate here. We'll see what happens. I do love this map, but I do think once again it is one of those maps that is very hard for Zerg to hold on to a third expansion. I'm trying to think of a map that's hard for Terran. There are, you know, maps that have wide open middles are pretty difficult. This map, I guess you could say, has somewhat of a wide open center. Not that much, you know, to work with in terms of, you know, ramps and cracks and crevices and whatnot, but you know, in general, I think Terrans will have a bit of a favoring when the map is kind of complex, maze-like, and you know, easy to destroy third expansions. That's when Terrans typically have an edge. Anyways, let's go ahead and see what happens here. We do have a spawning pool coming up, and expansion is on the way for TLO. Reaper is coming out as well. This map is great for Reapers. You can hop right into the main base from the bottom of the ground. Back when Reapers were really buff, they were super OP on this map. They have since been nerfed, obviously. And one Reaper is going to make its way over to the natural expansion, right into the main. Zergling is coming out right away, and it's unlikely this Reaper will get too much damage done. Most Zergs now have their timing down such that they can deal with these Reapers pretty easily. And I like what TLO does. He kind of pulls a few drones off to, you know, try to corner that Reaper in, because he wants to get rid of it. Some Terrans might say, oh, that's great, you lose some mining time, but if you lose the Reaper, it's a big loss. And that drone almost going down. It is going to die. Oh man. Oh no, it's not. TLO keeps it alive somehow, and he actually loses a Zergling. So and he finally does have the Queen out, and he'll be okay defending here. But the Reaper's immediately hopping up to the high ground. Of course, they do regenerate outside of combat, and TLO wisely keeping a Queen at each base. If you can keep the Queen situated, it's actually really hard for Reapers to get in and do any damage, because they absolutely just tickle Queens. Like, they do no damage to Queens whatsoever, and Queens are fairly good against them. But these Reapers are going to come back, and they will get one drone kill. Nice job right there by Happy. And not really losing anything, so he's keeping the pressure on. Now going to go for the Creep Tumor. Oh, that was close, and it's actually a big setback if TLO loses this first tumor, because the first tumor allows you to spawn the second one, etc, etc, and if you lose this first one, you got to wait for 50 energy to make another one. So 25 energy, sorry, not 50, but still, it is a big setback. At least I feel like it is when I'm Zerg. And Happy here is going to, I think, just gonna go ahead and pull his Reapers away now. He's actually reinforcing with a Hellion. Back at home, let's see what he's up to. He's got a couple of barracks coming up, command center as well. So things are all fine and dandy on the Terran side. And TLO is gonna go for a Roach Warren. Now this is unusual. We actually did not see Roaches at all in the first two games. I kind of feel like because this map is so small, one edge that Zerg has, instead of going into the late game, is just try to end it early on. I think if TLO goes for some type of Roach Baneling all in, he could do a lot of damage against Happy, and he might just be going for that. You can see he's got all of his queens at the front, doesn't want to let these Hellions run on in, utilizing this choke point very nicely. Creep tumors are getting roasted up though, Happy wisely destroying them, doesn't want to let the Zerg get any map control at all, and you know, good job of countering those creep tumors. But back at home, what is being constructed? There is a layer coming up, Roach Warren is done, and +1 melee is on the way here, so it is possible that the little one is just going for a Roach Warren because he might feel like he needs roaches for defensive reasons, rather than trying to go for an all-in. I'm not sure yet. We'll just have to wait and see. And finally, is he going to be able to get these tumors down without getting harassed? It looks like he will, but the new expansion over here, which TLO was able to sneak a drone out, is going to get picked off. And this is, like I said before, this is the biggest problem on this map for Zerg, is you just cannot hold a third expansion. It is nearly impossible to do. TLO now forced to pull his queens out to save this hatchery, which means his natural will now be exposed. He's actually bringing his Zerglings around the backside. He's going to try to corner these Reapers and Hellions in. Will he be able to do it? Trying to set the trap here, but I don't think he has enough Zerglings. Now running behind this high ground, this little mountaintop, and getting away, and I guess he's just going to give up. Happy is going to give up on trying to kill off this Expo because obviously the queens have come back home. A lot of Zerglings are here. Zergling speed kicking in as well. And now that Zergling speed has come in, I don't think Happy can actually be all that aggressive anymore. He has to pull back and play it a little more safely because he can lose his forces really quickly to swarming Zerglings. Spire is on the way for TLO. He's also going for Baneling Nest. And meanwhile, Happy has gone for siege tanks. That is something you don't see in ZVT nowadays. And you know, the siege tank obviously indicating that Happy wants to play a little bit more defensively, more of a classic TvZ style. And I'm surprised he doesn't have a tank on the high ground here. That's also a good spot to have your siege tank. I think Happy might be realizing here that TLO has a very real possibility of, you know, attacking in the next few minutes with a very large, you know, Zergling, Baneling type Muta army. And he's just making sure that he's got his defenses prepared for that. Gonna lose some of his forces up here to the north. They were cornered in by Speedlings. Very nice job right there by TLO, and he kills off that Reaper before it can hop into the main base. So now, Happy actually doesn't know there is a Spire there. He does not know what type of tech the enemy Zerg is going for. And I've got to say, I really like TLO's position. He's been able to claim the third expansion. Not something you see done very easily on this map. I mean, it's still a very forsaken location because this area right here is just a Terran setup for attacking this expansion. I've seen countless hatcheries go down due to the layout of this map. And, I mean, we'll see what happens, but one thing about siege tanks that are great on this map, you get some tanks up here on the high ground, it's very hard for Zerg to deal with. Widow Mines are obviously, you know, same situation, but tanks can range down this hatchery from this mountaintop, maybe like from here or something. But yeah, we'll see what happens. It looks like Happy gonna push out here with his Tank Marine classic Wings of Liberty style. And will he have enough forces? He doesn't have combat shields yet. It is coming. +1 weapons on the way as well. He doesn't have near the upgrades that the Zerg has, and TLO here trying to set up his mutas. He needs to come back around and snipe these siege tanks out. Will he have enough mutas to do so? And he's going to fly in right now and try to take out one of the tanks, and he is going to be able to kill off a tank. Very nice job right there by TLO. The more tanks go down, the easier this becomes to defend. It looks like Happy now pressing in with the Marines. Going to try to take out this hatchery, but saves his Marines from Baneling detonations by picking them up inside the medevac. Now the medevac getting targeted down by these mutas. More Zerglings flowing forward into this expansion area. And TLO here really focused on defending here. Will he have enough forces to do so? Trying to get some more Banelings out on the map. Zerglings and Banelings coming, reinforcing, and they are going to get the surround off. And Happy loses his entire army. GG calls Happy. And a quick game 3 right there. I think, you know, that was weird. I mean, like I said, you don't see tanks very often anymore in TvZ. And Happy just going for kind of an unorthodox style did not work out, and Happy GG. So we're going to go to game 4 here. Stay tuned. I'll be back with game 4. HD signing out.